You didn't lose them. You outgrew the situation. And that's something most people don't realize in time, because when you're inside it, it feels like loss. It feels like rejection. It feels like you did something wrong. But sometimes, it's not about losing someone. It's about becoming aware. Aware of how little you were actually receiving. Aware of how much you were overgiving. Aware of how one-sided everything became. And once that awareness hits, you can't unsee it. At first, you keep trying to fix it. You adjust yourself. You become more patient, more understanding, more forgiving. You start lowering your expectations just to keep things alive. But the more you adjust, the more you disappear, and they don't notice, because they've already gotten used to your effort, your presence, your availability, your understanding. It becomes normal, expected, taken for granted, and slowly you start feeling invisible, even when you're right there, even when you're trying, even when you're giving your best. And that's the breaking point. Not a fight, not a moment, not a big event, just a quiet realization. I'm not receiving what I'm giving. And that realization changes everything. Because now, you stop romanticizing. You start observing. You notice the imbalance, the inconsistency, the emotional distance. And suddenly, you understand something painful. You weren't being loved the same way. You were just being tolerated. And tolerated love is not love at all. It's convenience. And you were convenient, always available, always understanding, always forgiving, but rarely prioritized. And that truth is hard to accept because it forces you to face something uncomfortable. You stayed longer than you should have, not because you didn't see it, but because you kept hoping it would change. And hope can trap you longer than pain ever will, because pain tells you to leave, but hope tells you to wait. And you waited for effort, for consistency, for clarity. But what you got instead was confusion, mixed signals, emotional distance. And at some point, you realize you are the only one still trying to make it work. And that realization is not loud, it's silent. It hits you in small moments, when replies get shorter, when conversations feel empty, when your presence no longer feels valued. And instead of reacting, you start withdrawing, not immediately, but slowly, emotionally, mentally, quietly, until one day you feel it clearly. I don't belong here the same way anymore. And that's when you finally see it. You didn't lose them. You outgrew what they were willing to offer. And that difference is everything. Because now you understand, staying in something one-sided is not loyalty. It's self-abandonment. And you don't need to abandon yourself to keep someone in your life. So this time, you don't chase. You don't adjust. You don't overgive. You step back and you choose yourself. Because peace feels better than confusion. Clarity feels better than mixed signals. And self-respect feels better than being tolerated.